Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got a very special guest with me. Right, she is a Arsenal fan. Um, she has appeared on Arsenal Fan TV, and honestly, she is one of my favorite content creators in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luce to the channel. Luce, how are you doing? How are you doing? You good?
I'm good. I quite like that introduction. Boosts my ego. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Well, let's kick things off. Could you please tell the audience about yourself, what you do, and how you started your journey through football and social media as well?
Yeah. So just a quick summary, I guess. I have recently graduated from uni, so I did sports journalism for 3 years, and alongside that, I started doing a little bit of content creation. When the Women's World Cup was going on last summer, I thought, why not? So like I've been doing it for maybe like 10 months. But it's been quite good. Like obviously, like you said, I got noticed by AFTV, so that was cool to go on there. Like that was for me a pinch me moment. Thank you. For me, that was literally like a pinch me moment, and to actually be featured on there. So I feel very lucky that I'm able to do that every so often. And yeah, I got into the game through the women's side, so predominantly Arsenal women, and then in maybe the last, I'd say probably 5-6 years, I'm more interested in the men's game as well. So like it's nice to watch all of it. I feel like I've bonded with people through both games, and everyone's so different, and I love it. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. What's your favorite moment whilst been on AFTV? Is it meeting Robbie? Is it meeting James, Turkish, Cecil, Troops?
Oh, what is the well, the best moment for me is like when I'm just sat in there, and I feel like every so often I almost zone out, and then I'm like, wait, am I actually here, like in this video? I just love it because it's just so surreal. But then you zone back in and you're like, no, you've got to be professional. Like you deserve to be here.
Yeah.
But it is just a lot of like, wow, is this real? But definitely, like when I first met Robbie, I was like, hi, and he was so friendly. He was just, oh hi, you okay? And I was just like, you're talking to me. Like it just felt a proper wow. But yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of highlights like that on AFTV for sure.
Yeah. Me personally, yeah, I saw Robbie and Flex at East Croydon. They were doing a DR Sports event. So I was like, oh my god, they're actually there in front of me. I
Yeah.
was honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was just so good. I was like, what?
I think
But
because you see them on a
honestly,
screen, so it's like going from a screen to then seeing them in person. You're like, whoa, hi,
yeah,
you all right?
honestly, it's just amazing. And yeah, honestly, well done, and hopefully you will keep skyrocketing up, and you will get bigger and bigger and bigger. You just have to keep on, persevering and just, keep believing yourself. I believe in you, and I'm sure that your wonderful friends believe in you as well. So, yeah, moving on.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Keira Walsh now.
Mhm.
So we've been linked with her for quite a few months now, and there's been rumors that I've been saying that we are close to signing her, that the deal is nearly finished and it's over the line. But right now, there's honestly, I'm me personally, right? I'm split. Um, right in the in the back of my head, I think that we could sign her, but at the same time, what is taking so long? What do you think, Lucy? Anyway?
Mhm.
Do you do you think that we will sign her, or do you think it's not gonna happen?
See, I'm not. I'm really like you. I'm really split because I remember I posted a video like last week, being like, "Is it me or is it everyone's feed is full of Keira Walsh going to Arsenal? Like, what is this? Is this happening?" And some people in the comments were already saying it's not happening. Like, it's people have reported it, but then I'm like, where? Like, there's no definite just yet. And for me, being a little delusional fan, I'm like, oh my god, she's going to come to us. But I think either way. Um, it's good for us to be linked with such a high profile player, especially when you look at what she does for England. Like for the Lionesses, I remember analysing
Yeah,
her in a video, and I noticed that she was basically covering both CDM roles. So it meant that us as England, we could then have two midfielders pushing forwards because she had complete control and security of the back four. And I just feel like having someone like her at Arsenal, especially when she's really close with someone like Leah Williamson, who will be in that back four, you just know that she's going to be so ready for that. And obviously then it gives a chance for our midfielders like Kim Little and people to push up. And for Kim Little, this could be one of her last seasons, so you know that she wants to get on that score sheet often. So it'll be a good
I actually agree with everything you're saying. Hopefully, it's not Kim Little's last season because she is a absolute integral part to what Jonas Eidevall trying to do, and she is one of our best midfielders. You know, and she's been at the top of the game for so many years. You know, so
yeah.
If she does decide to leave, then you know, someone has to fill her shoes. You know, will it be a Palova? Will it be a Keira Walsh? Will it be Frida Martin? Will it be Carol Cooney-Cross? Never know. But someone like Keira Walsh coming to Arsenal, that defense, honestly, that would just be so good. Honestly, but so far it has been quiet. It has just been rumors circulating, but there has been loads of reports that we are close to sealing the deal. But honestly, I don't know what's holding up. You know, maybe it's the fact that we need to sort out some wages or something like that. But hopefully, by God's grace, Keira Walsh will be in an Arsenal shirt. And hopefully she can follow in the footsteps of Mariana Cardente, who we've obviously signed officially for Barcelona on a free. Honestly, I actually didn't know that we were going to sign Cardente until I saw it. I was like, what? I was like, no way. How did you feel? How did you feel about that? About us signing Cardente? Were you shocked? Were you surprised? Were you like, what's going on?
I mean, I'm sort of similar with you. I feel like there's so many names that are just propping up that are being linked to Arsenal, which I'm loving. Like even the Mary Earps situation, unlikely, but it's just having those names boost your club. It makes us look good. But for her, I feel like because I heard it for a few weeks, people were propping up, and I was like, oh, is this actually a thing? Is this not? But I think she's going to be a great signing for us because then it will allow our attackers, obviously Miedemar leaving, which so controversial. No one agrees that should have happened, but it's happened, and I like that we're dealing with it in the right way by getting in another great striker, a great attacking player. So then with Russo, Blackstenius, like it would be good to have people slotted in certain roles. So I'm sort of excited to see what the starting lineup could look like with her in it. But yeah, I think it's a very good signing for us.
Yeah, yes, the same as well. I think she'll either start or come as a super sub in Jonas Eidevall can rotate with either herself, Russo or Steve Baxilius. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see next season how we set up. You know, especially in the big crunch games against your Chelsea, against your Manchester United, against your Man Cities. You know, and obviously Tottenham as well. So it will be interesting to see how we set up, who he plays where. You know, but yeah, so far it's exciting, man, and yeah, I think there are big things coming for the mighty Red, man. Honest. Here's a negative question for you. Where did it go wrong for Arsenal? Obviously, we finished third in the WSL, and we literally collapsed. We lost 4 games. Lost to Tottenham, lost to West Ham. We lost to Liverpool at the start of the season, and we also lost to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge 3-0. For you personally, where did you go wrong? And where did you go wrong? Where did the problem start occurring, do you think?
I think if we're going to go back to like, this is just off the top of my head, but like if we're going to go back to like a root vibe of like where has this actually come from, I think our trophy field history puts so much pressure on Arsenal. Like we were the best for at least a decade. So then every season us Arsenal fans are like, why aren't we getting trophies? Why aren't we coming first or second at least? And we're putting that pressure on. So I think for me, I'm trying to see it in a more positive way and thinking we're doing really well to stay in the top 3, especially when last season we had so many ACL injuries. This season, I I feel like it's people slowly coming back to the pitch. Like we started off the season without people like Lee Williamson, without the Beth Mead, the Vivian Meadmar. So we had a little bit of inconsistency. And for me, I think where did we go wrong? I'm going to put it down to inconsistency and complacency, because we got results against bigger clubs. Like we won against Chelsea when we were at home. We won against City in the last few games. So I don't feel like we actually, like, we show up when we play against bigger clubs, but then it's the first game of the season losing to Liverpool, who have just recently been promoted in the last couple of years. For me, I'm like, that's where you've got to start. You've got to be having you've got to be treating every game as a big game, because at the end of the day, those points are so crucial. That we went down to the last game, and if we lost against City, then City would have beat Chelsea. So it was that sort of situation where the points are so close, especially now more clubs getting funding, which is really good. It's getting more competitive, which I'm loving. But we don't want to fall behind, because we're meant to be leading the way. We're meant to be ahead of everyone. So for me, I think we need to just make sure we're not complacent. I think Jonas Eidevall needs to have a starting 11, like a consistent one. Because if you look at the Premier League, you look at Arteta. I remember I did a few. Here's my predicted starting 11, and basically every week I was just saying the same starting 11, because you just knew where the players were meant to be, what they're meant to do, who links up well with who. Whereas Eidevall, I feel like just switches up, improvises almost in the morning, it looks like. Whereas for the players getting in these new signings, we kind of need that structure for us, I think. So that's sort of linking to the next vibe of what I think moving forwards. But definitely for me, I just think where it went wrong was there wasn't consistency.
Honestly, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. For me personally, right, as a huge fellow Arsenal fan like you yourself, for me personally, honestly, dropping points to Tottenham, West Ham, Liverpool, Chelsea was absolutely unacceptable. On top of that, the fact that we keep conceding from set pieces, corners, penalties, free kicks is just ridiculous and annoying. Also, on top of that, we cannot break down any low blocks. I'm talking against your West Ham's, your Liverpool's when they sit back in a 5-3-2 or 5-4-1 and literally condense the pitch, which means that there's no space for likes of Kim Mitchell or a Pullover to create and dictate the game, which also means slows down our play, our progress, and our attack. And obviously that's why Tottenham beat us so well in that game at their stadium. Honestly, I watched that game. I was fuming. I was fuming. But honestly, we need to find out a way to beat those teams that just like to just a sharp shot, just sit back and just defend. Because yes, it's annoying, but come on, we've got a very technical team. We've got a very good quality team. That with improvements, Arsenal can go to that next level. We can go to that next level. But last season was very poor yet again, and we just about made Champions League. So we'll see. In fact, here's a question for you. How far do you think we will go in the Champions League? Do you think we can make it all the way to the final, or do you think we're going to get lucky and probably get knocked out in the quarters or semis?
See, I really don't want to jinx this again, because last season I was like, yeah, I see us getting to the finals this time. Maybe not winning it. I was like, we're going to get through past the semi-finals, because obviously the season before, we got to the semi-finals. We just went out when we were at the Emirates Stadium. I was fortunate enough to be there watching that, which was so heartbreaking, but it was such a good game to go to, and the atmosphere was crazy. But for me, I was like, if we could get to the semi-finals with all our ACL injuries that season, then next season we're gonna get to the final easy. And obviously we got out to like Paris, not even PSG, just Paris. So I was like, right, calm. So season, I'm gonna say quarterfinals at least. We've got to get there, at least. Like, because otherwise the thing is, people like already. I know you have outwardly spoken about it. I know quite a few others. I've put questions out there to people about Eidevall's future at the club. And I think if you're not getting past quarterfinals and you're a club that's actually won it before, then it's sort of like, right, okay, you've got to be doing something. And the thing is, like you just said, we've got technical players. we've got really skillful players that are some of the best in the world. Like we've got an England captain in our squad, so we need to utilise that. We need to start acting like we've got this leadership, this team that is able to lead the way. So I think if we're not doing it Champions League, then I don't know. And I think it would be so fun to have like away days, hopefully travelling around. But do you think quarterfinals, or what's your vibe with that?
Again, it depends on honestly. It depends on who we sign this season. Obviously, we've got Cardente in the bag. That's sealed. Cool, got in the bag. But who else? You know, honestly, I've been literally posting my story. I've been on Twitter. But listen. Let's soon sign these bloody players that will actually, change our team and get us to the next level, so we can compete against like a Chelsea who are literally taking the piss in the league. Literally, they're just dominating the league for fun. Like we're like Man City right now. Yeah, I see what Man City are doing in Premier League. They've won in 5 in the trot. Chelsea have done the same thing. So I want to, get past Chelsea's level that they are right now. I just want to exceed what Chelsea are doing, and try and overtake them, and start a dynasty for ourselves. Win every single trophy possible: Conti Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, everything. I want Arsenal to be feared, by all opponents. But to do that, we need to get quality players. And that brings me to my next question. Loose improvements for next season. Where do you think Eidevall, in fact, what and who do you think Eidevall needs to change? Is it the defence? Is it the midfield, the attack? Improvements for next season?
I feel like sort of what I've already touched upon, it's not really the players themselves. I think he's just got to use what we've got, because you look at our squad, we've got at least like 15 solid players that could start week in, week out. But I think the issue that he's having right now is he wasn't trial and testing too many. Like he wouldn't put Russo with Blackstenius up top for a while. Like he almost was like scared of doing that. And the minute he did it, you saw that it unlocked so much depth up at the top. And I just think we need to really just make the most of the players we have, the ability, especially now we're getting new attackers in. Hopefully, if we can get someone like Keira Walsh and new defenders. I think there was a bit of a weaker spot to say in the net, because Zinsberger slowly was losing our trust as the season went on. As far as I'm aware, she's still going to be part of the squad next season, but if we could get in someone else, like a Mary Earp situation, or I know Dom Solar, she's been linked to us, like the Villa keeper. I just think if we could get someone else in who starts, we just need to put trust back in, because I don't know if you were the same, but for me, whenever the ball would go into our half or even into our box, I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Because I just lost that trust with her. Whereas a few seasons back, I'd be like, no, she's got it safe hands. Like she's got it all day. So I think it's just in the right signings. That's what Eidevall needs to do. And then once he's got them, he needs to actually have a consistent starting lineup. Maybe obviously mix out a few every so often, like trial and error it. But I think we're literally going to America this summer. Use all this experience that we're getting, much game time to actually finalize a squad that you're happy with, that you can get the 3 points in the first game. Because if we don't start off with a win, I feel like that's going to really knock our confidence, like it did with Liverpool. So make sure we trust.
Yeah, I agree. Me personally, look, I've literally posted on social media, Twitter, Instagram. Listen, bloody go to Manchester United, be like, yo, Ella, listen, come here, listen. Honestly, I really want Ella to not Arsenal, man. She is a bloody world class player, man. She's so good, and she turns up in big games. I really want Ella to Arsenal, and Mary Ups as well. Honestly, they are game changers, and they will elevate us, so we can, again, as I said earlier, so we can compete with the Chelsea and the Man Cities, who will, of course, get stronger. Look at Chelsea; they've literally tied Sam Kerr down to a 2-year deal. Sam Kerr I'm not gonna lie, Sam Kerr is, yeah, she's just an unbelievable striker.
Mhm.
She's one of the best in the world. Personally, she's my favorite. Uh, uh, she's my favorite Chelsea player because obviously of what she's done for the WSL. Her as a player and as a person, she's just phenomenal. And she always scores against us, which is jarring. But I have to clap. I have to go. Yeah, I mean, there's there's enough you can do. But me personally, right, in terms of improvements, I'm like, yo, listen, yeah, get me Mary Earps, get me Ella Toon, get me Keira Walsh, and get me Lena Oberdorf from Wolfsburg. Yeah,
Okay,
those
yeah.
four would change our team. Those four would, mate, I'm
Mhm.
telling you. But obviously, I don't think Arsenal will spend that money. But you
Mhm.
never know. Honestly, I think it's simple, right? If we want to get to a Champions League final, yeah, against like a Barcelona, like a Lyon, like a Paris Saint Germain, or like a Real Madrid, and
Yeah.
try and compete with your bosses and try and beat your Barcelonas, we have to spend big and we have to, be brave in the market and get these players, that will take risks like your Elitunes, like your Palois, like Kim. They are literally risk takers.
Mhm.
Who do you think Arsenal need to sign? Like, what is a must for you personally?
A new keeper is, I think, top of my list.
Oh my god.
So
Okay,
I'm
that's interesting.
I'm thinking, um, hear me out. No, I'm thinking we need, like I was saying, we just need to have that trust back in our keeper. And I love Zinsberg. I think she's such a hype girl, like at the back.
Yeah,
But I think imagine having like a Marriott. Like you said, I find it so funny how clubs like we could potentially just take United's players. I feel like Villa take our players that we no longer want. Like it's just the WSL
yeah,
just constantly recycling
yeah,
and everything players. But if we could get the likes of Marriott or just someone fresh in goal, I think you saw with the men's, everyone liked Ramsdale. Like everyone backed him and was like, no, we don't want a new keeper. Like we love him, but you
yeah,
could there was sort of that connection that you just needed someone new. Raya comes in. Raya's done unreal for us. Got like the Golden Glove. Like he is honestly, I think, being one of the biggest game changers alongside Rice, in my opinion, for the men's. That I'm like, if we could do that with the women's, replicate it, and have a new keeper in, that would just take us to the next level. Having that security, because I know that quite a few of the goals, she's pulled off some pretty impressive saves this season, but some of
yes,
I'm like that with another keeper, maybe we might have maybe either drawn some games which could have got us further up the table. You don't know. So I think for me, the main focus should be on a keeper. But I mean, having someone like Keira Walsh, which I'm trying to manifest this into existence, like having someone like her in the squad would be mental because she's a midfielder, but she's so defensive as well. But she will push up. So I think she covers a lot of the pitch, which is a player you look for. Instead of getting two CDMs, you just have her. So I think the money would be worth it. Like I think it would all work out. So for me, I think they're the two spaces on the pitch. Now that we've already got another striker in, they're the two spaces we probably should focus on.
let me ask you this question. Okay,
Hmm.
name me one dream signing that you would want your Eidevall to do. Uh, any player in the world, any player in the world,
Any
uh,
player?
any player in the world.
Okay, the first one that pops into my head was Alexia Putellas. I think imagine her in the WSL. Like imagine. I think the fact that we've got so many attackers in like attacking players in our squad right now, I don't know where she'd fit in, but obviously compared to quite a few of them, I feel like she would start over some of our attacking players right now because I mean she's won the Ballon d'Or twice, like she is that good. I'd actually really like to see her in the WSL as well, but I wouldn't want to see her in another squad, so I'd rather see her in an Arsenal shirt if it means she takes it from one of our current players, because she is that good. So yeah, bit of a wild one, but I mean, I thought Keira Walsh was a bit of a wild one, so anything could
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Well, for me,
Hmm.
I've got loads. Sam Kerr, Lauren James, Don Mati, Pateas. Um, what's the name that plays in the right wing for Barca? Graham Hansen. That's it. Graham Hansen. So many. Listen, so many. But honestly, for me personally, it has to be a Bon team. You know, put her next to Kim Mitchell, and then you've got Valty sitting. Bruv, no one's getting past on the field. No one's getting near Albert Field. I'll tell you this now. But yeah, that's just me dreaming. Unfortunately, I can't see how we're gonna pay 3 million to get Bon Mati for Barca.
I mean,
it's not gonna happen.
Chelsea might be doing that, and if they do it,
no chance,
please, because like you said, you've just listed off a few of their best players. I think what we need to really do though is Sam Kerr won't be playing till at least 2025, so we've got another like the first half of the season to really focus. But then they've got Ramirez, and I think Ramirez is their biggest like attacking threat right now. If you saw her, like if she was there in that Champions League game against Barca, I reckon Chelsea would have gone through and won it, because Ramirez is like, I think she's that big of a player that it's almost scary. So yeah. We're just
sorry to interrupt, but I disagree. I generally don't think Chelsea would have beaten Barcelona. I still think Barcelona would have been just too strong. I mean, listen, Chelsea can't go to. In fact, no one in the world can go to Barcelona, man. It's long. You can't. Come on. It's honestly, man. Barcelona are just a very good team. You cannot. I mean, you cannot go to. You cannot press the high because you're fucked. You know, it's peak. It's long. You can't stop. I think teams, should just sit back, be like a six at the back against Barca and just park the bus. Try and hoof one long up the pitch. I think that's probably the safest option. But I was surprised to see when Chelsea did beat Barcelona. I was like, what? Honestly, I was shit myself. I was like, shit. We're trying to get to the final. I was like, how please let this happen? But then obviously, luckily, Barcelona pulled it back and showed their class in the second leg. What's your thoughts on Jonas Eidevall as a manager of Arsenal, and where do you think he can improve? Is it winning? Is it winning more trophies? Is it squad selections? Is it game management? Where do you think he can improve as a manager? And what's your thoughts on him?
It's a big question. For me, I don't want to rule him out. Like I still respect him as a manager. I don't know if I rate him as much as I did when he first came, for sure. Sorry, my throat. Let me just. Yeah, I don't know if I rate him as much now. I don't know if you watched that documentary that Arsenal did, but they, like the way he came across, I've really liked. I liked how he interacted with the players, and he just came across as a nice guy. And I think that's what you need, especially in the women's game. Someone who knows the players. I think Arteta does that very well, like the player management, like the people. He's a people person. You can tell like how he interacts. But I think for me, if we're having this conversation this time next year, he should be gone, because the thing is that it's like, for me, I think third time's charm, like third time lucky. We've gone 2 seasons now where all we've got is a Conti Cup. So if next season all we get is a Conti Cup or even less, I'd be like, nah. Whereas if we get the WSL, if we get the Champions League, if we get the FA Cup, or as well as the Conti Cup, then I think I'll be like, yeah, okay, like this is good. I think it's just he's been very unlucky last season with the injuries, very unlucky. So I don't think you could put anything on him of how 2 seasons ago now, how that went. Whereas the season we've just played out, some of his decisions, I'm not really sure. But I don't want to rule him out yet. I'm like, we've got to stand with our manager, and we've got to trust him. I do just think he's made a few silly mistakes. One of them being quite huge of Miedemar leaving the club. Obviously, it's not fully down to him, but it's like there's going to be a whole team that decides that. So I can't put all the blame on him, which I know quite a few people are doing. But for me, I just think you can't let one of your best players go, especially coming back from an ACL injury. You think the mental impact that will have on you, and then to just cut you, that is quite harsh. I just really hope she doesn't go to City, because she'll want to get her revenge basically on us, and she will, because she is a top striker. But for me, I think Eidevall, I back him. I support him right now, but I just think he's got to improve with results. Like, we've got to the stage now where you can tell that, yeah, maybe how he interacts with the players, how he coaches them is doing okay. Like, it's doing good. You can't really complain, but when you're not getting the results, that's when people are starting to look. So I'm not sure if you're the same, but the Conti Cup just isn't enough for me right now.
Same here. I agree with you. Honestly, I was furious. I was literally effing about. I was like, get this prick out my club. Get him out. Sack him. Sack him. But then I was like, hold on. Right. If he went to Conti Cup, then I'm going to give him a buy. But if he doesn't, yeah, get him out my club, because there's no way. Yeah, we can go 7 years, or 7 years, but a major trophy. 3, 4, 5 years about a Conti Cup, or like a FA Cup. It's embarrassing. And then you see Chelsea, like, look what they're doing. They've won 5 times in 5 in a row. What's
Yeah,
that?
remind me.
I feel sick right now, man. 5 in a row. Come on. And honestly, next season, look, unfortunately, I think Chelsea will win it again. Unfortunately, but look, Arsenal need to strengthen their whole team. We have to strengthen if we want to, compete with Chelsea, or better yet, beat Chelsea and cross that line, cross that hurdle, and beat them to a title. And also, scrap that. I'll take it back. I don't think Chelsea will win the league. I think Arsenal will actually win it. One, because me personally, I think Chelsea will decline, because they've gone up and up and up. I think this season onwards, Chelsea will decline. I'll tell you this now. Second of all, they've got a new manager as well. Obviously, Emma Hayes has obviously left Chelsea. She is a legend of the game. One of my favorite managers in WSL as well. She's a wonderful manager when she was at Chelsea. And she was a born winner. So the question is, how will Chelsea cope without Emma Hayes? Hopefully they just turn to shit and hopefully get relegated. I don't think that'll happen. But what are your expectations for next season?
My expectations. Trophies, I think, is our main aim. We've got to get more than the Conti Cup. I would love another Chelsea-Arsenal final. I just think for our ego, like, it's good. But if we're not winning against them during the actual season, then I'm a bit like, okay, like, I think double settle is our next one. Like you said, Chelsea, for me, sadly, how I see it is they're just going from strength to strength. They're extending contracts. They've cut a lot of their big players, like Frank Kirby, people like that have left the club. They're going to be getting in some good players now, potentially even Bon Mati, which is still up in the air. So for me, I think we just really need to focus on our game, but be prepared, because we need to match them. Because if they're going to get in some big signings, then we need to definitely do that as well. But I see us coming in the top 2 this season. I definitely see that. I think it could, like the last few seasons, which makes it more exciting, come down to the last game. But if by Christmas, if we're sort of at a better place than we were last season, then I think we should be okay.
Yes. I think we need to improve on last season. Last season was so poor, and yes, we made it to final. Yes, I'm happy. Obviously, same as you, same as all the lovely, amazing Arsenal fans all around the world. All of us happy that obviously Arsenal won the Conti Cup. But now let's put that into perspective. Let's reverse that. All right? Let's say Chelsea won that Conti Cup round and we lost. Everyone would be screaming, Eidevall out, getting out my club is a fraud, etc. Blah 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 blah. Me included. but he's lucky, to still be in his job. To be fair, and he needs to improve next season. I swear on you, mate. We are such a good team, a quality team, a world class footballing outfit, but finishing third, right? And getting knocked out by Paris. Bro, Paris. Who are Paris? Seriously. Mate.
My fault. That was my fault. It's a joke.
It's a joke. What's it? Quickly, right, before you go, what's your thoughts on the Premier League fixtures, Arsenal fixtures? Do you think we can bridge that gap and go a step further and actually beat City to the title? Or do you think Arsenal still haven't got enough? Do you think we still need to invest and get some more players to? What do you think?
I'm quite an optimistic person, so I'm thinking for both the men and the women's third time lucky. I'm thinking this season is the season where we get it. It's all dependent on the games. Like when you look at the fixture list, September looks like September is really not the sort of games you want to be playing. Like it is pretty rough. But I'm thinking if we can get the wins, get the points early on, then we'll almost be cruising after Christmas and we'll be chilling. Obviously not cruising because every game's a big game. You should treat it like that, otherwise you get complacent. And we've seen us do that and drop points from that. But I think if we can just put our all into definitely up until Christmas, and then after that, it's sort of slightly better. Whereas last season and the season before, it was like you started off pretty poor and then it's like up and down. Whereas if we need to just be a trajectory, just straight up. So for us, if we don't get the Premier League, we need to be getting the FA Cup. We need to be reclaiming that. We need to be reclaiming some trophy at least. And I think just getting far again in the Champions League, because that was just so good. I think that did a lot for us as a club. Like our spirits were high, the fans. I feel like that'd be pretty solid. What about you? Do you think we're gonna get any silverware?
I am okay. I'm very confident that we will win the Premier League. All right, I'm saying this with chest, guys. Listen, yeah.
You heard it.
I'm so confident that listen. Last 2 years, paying for obviously the first season, we bowled it. Bowled jobs. Second season, 2 points, bro. 2 flipping points. Yeah, Aston Villa, flipping 8. Oh, it was so close. But honestly, I believe that the boys will do it. We will get over that line, and we will win the Premier League. Our 14th league title and our 4th Premier League title overall. I believe, man, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. But if we don't, then sack them both.
No, I don't back that.
Well, why not? I'm being serious.
I don't see Premier League. I feel like they're both different. Arteta, I think he needs to stay another season anyways, at least like another couple seasons. Eidevall, I back it. If we don't get any silverware, get rid. Or if our only silverware is Conti Cup, then I'll be like, yeah, like we need to sack him. I mean, right now, actually, because obviously Casey Stoney, she's just been recently sacked. I've seen over my whole feed, everyone's like, oh, should we get Casey Stoney in? And I'm like, you know what? If Eidevall hasn't like bigged up his idea by Christmas, that could be a good shout. But we'll see.
Yes, we will see how it pans out next season for both Arsenal teams, the men and the women. We'll see if Eidevall and Arteta can get both clubs to the promised land and hopefully Champions League glory and more. So, honestly, Lucy, thank you for coming on. Honestly, I am absolutely so happy. I am over the moon. And honestly, yeah, gassed in a way because you're honestly such a huge content creator, and honestly, I love your stuff. Keep it going. Oh, wow.
No, thank you.
Honestly, I'm just lost for words. Honestly, thank you so much, and quickly tell people where they can find you and your socials.
Right now it's just TikTok and Instagram. So if you it's loosechats.pod keira.sport on both of those platforms. Hoping to get a YouTube channel set up in the next couple months. So it'll be pretty much the same name, but yeah, for right now, just Instagram and TikTok. It's mostly just reels.
Honestly, I actually think that you should start a YouTube channel because
I'm debating
your knowledge is looking it's honestly it's bloody amazing. Honestly, like if you want help doing it, honestly, I'll be happy to help. You know, what's it? I'll be happy to help. Honestly, shouting you out, I'll be honestly happy to help because I'm a huge fan of yours. Honestly, just keep it going, man. Keep it going. Seriously.
No, I
Keep
appreciate
it going.
that. I appreciate that.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming in. And have a wonderful day. Oh, sorry, the last thing. England prediction, last thing. Last final thing. Yeah. England prediction. What's up?
I feel like I'm too positive with all my predictions at this point. I think I said like 3-0 for the first game, and then I was like, oh, we just scraped that. So I'm gonna say 2-0 win. We need a win. We need to finish top of the group. Like, just stay there. Are you thinking the same or?
Nope, I disagree. I'm gonna go for a loss. I'm gonna go 2-1 Slovenia. I think we will lose. I'm being dead serious. England.
That's
listen,
humbling. That's humbling.
Southgate is not a good manager, and he's playing the wrong players in the wrong positions. Why he's playing on the left wing is beyond me, right? Yeah, Jude Bellingham, yeah, he's good, but the glaze on Bellingham perhaps pissing me off. Why do you need to glaze? Oh, Bellingham, mate, relax. He's 20, chill. You know what I mean, like Trent in the midfield. Why?
Yeah.
Why? He's not a midfielder. And then you know, Harry Kane has done nothing. You know, yes, he scored one goal, but come on, he's Harry Kane. He's supposed to be one of the best strikers in the world, and he's struggling against bloody flipping Denmark and all them teams. Come on, Serbia, and come on, man, it's embarrassing. But unfortunately, I think England will lose, which will mean that we will drop to second. And also, I do think Denmark will win 2-0 against Serbia, and that will mean England will face Germany. You know, Havertz, Kroos, Andrick, Rudiger, Gundogan, Sane, Musiala. Yeah, long. But yes, long. But Luce, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.